All right. We are going live with this one. Hmm. If you can hear me out there, please go ahead and throw up a like. Gotta check my volume right quick. Want to make sure everything is good. How is everybody doing? All right. If you are on live with me, go ahead. Go into the chat room, say where you're coming from. Yo, this is Brian, aka Uncle B. And today we got a banger for you. For you guys who do not know, welcome. What we do right here, we talk about men's sexual health and how you can get better off rip. How you can be a better lover, better sexual performer, everything working on your body. So this is what we do. Hey, what's going on, Tony J? Theodore, North Carolina in the house. Loving it, loving it. Hey, what's going on, Chris? Chi-Town is up in here. Hey, today, guys, we got something really important to talk about, which is that blood flow. A lot of times we talk about testosterone and how important that is, but we don't talk enough about that blood flow. Very important. What's going on, Tony? Chi-Town again in the house. Love it, love it, love it. Tony Jewis, I'm not big on fruit, just basic fruit. Just like the vegetables what would be enough. Just keep eating them. Go for it. Keep going for it. Hey, I'm sorry if for the guys I missed you last week. Life happens. I like getting on here, talking with you guys, interacting, getting questions, and helping you be the best that you can be. But in order for me to be the best I need to be, sometimes I need to take a break. And actually just throwing this out there. Next week on Thursday, June 3rd, soon to be a national holiday. I'm kidding, sort of. It's my birthday. So won't be going live on my birthday just because, it's my birthday. Got some things to do, people to see, et cetera, et cetera. You know how that goes. What's going on? Moonshine Gunners, Jamaica's in the house. What's going on, OBL? NC in the house. What's going on, Vincent? All right, love it, love it. New Orleans in the house. Boogie down Bronx. Yes, indeed. So, guys, today, like I said, we're going to be talking about that blood flow. It's very important. Why is this so important? It's because 50 to 70% of men who have ED don't realize the cause could be just your blood flow. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to break that down because specifically the vascular diseases that affect blood vessels, they slow down the blood flow going throughout your body. And of course, your penis has some of the smallest veins in your body. So it's not just your penis doesn't work, it's your entire body doesn't work. So I have talked about blood flow before and different foods and things like that. So I got 180 videos. And like giving more and more information. Sometimes people say, is it repetitive? I don't think so, because the more information you get, the more you realize how important it is. In fact, I'm going to talk about a little bit more on sleep. And for you guys who aren't familiar with the process that I do around here, basically, I'm going to break down the video that was released earlier today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's how we go. It's a short and condensed version. It's just 10 minutes. But what I like to do is get on here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday to break it all the way down so you get all the information that you need. What's going on, Vincent from NC? Yeah. And Marvin. Oh, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Hey, when you turn 50, it's special, bruh. It's special. I actually have a video that will be coming out on my birthday on June 3rd, next Thursday, once again, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be talking about what I've learned just being on this planet for 50 years. All of that stuff is really important for you. And for my guys, once again, who are new, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B. And for the last 21 years, I've been a men's performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And, this is what I do. Just give the information, as much information as possible. I've been studying this stuff for a long time. And so, I know a lot, so I want to share a lot. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Let me see. Let me get my situation together here. All right. Hey, what's going on, Marcus? Callie in the house. Okay, so if you're having weak or unreliable erections, but you still haven't hit ED, I need for you to pay attention because that's just a precursor. You're leading up to possibly dealing with ED. It's on its way. It's just a sign of more diseases to come. So basically, if you have ED, that means other things have already been affected. That means your arteries are clogged. That means your erections are basically about blood flow and testosterone. You need the testosterone as that fuel to keep that the blood flow going into your penis, but the blood flow has to be there. If the blood flow isn't there, you're going to run into those problems. And one of those major things, like I said, 50 to 70% of guys who have ED, that those veins have gotten clogged, they've gotten smaller, they've atrophied. And that can cause a whole bunch of problems. So basically what happens is that you have a heart. Your heart is pumping that blood, but the blood has to go down through around your stomach and everything to get down to your penis. And if any of these pathways are clogged up, then you're not going to get the blood flow down there. And so, when we're talking about getting good erections, we're talking about increasing, dilating your arteries, the veins, so you can get the blood flow down there. And so if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, simply put, it's not working. And a lot of what people tend to do is think that, okay, I have a penis problem. It's not you have a penis problem, you have a whole body problem. So, it's not just like, oh, I'm going to take a piece of equipment, attach it on there and pump it up. Like, all right, we got a temporary fix. Or I'm going to take, some Viagra, and it's just going to stop the blood flow from leaving out of your penis. So blood flow is just naturally going to go in there, but it's not leaving out. Well, yeah, you got a temporary fix, but you're going to be on that fix for the rest of your life. That's not making sense. That's not making sense at all. And we're also talking about the lining of your blood vessels. If the lining of your blood vessels, after years of eating bad, cholesterol building up, et cetera, you're wearing out the lining on the inside of your veins, and you're not getting the nitric oxide, you're not getting blood flow being pushed through your body. So also, guys, if you have a question that pops into your mind, go ahead and put that into the comment section. This is what we do. We're going to answer those questions. And also, one of the things I want to make sure I do after this, I'm going to talk about sleep. Constantly doing research, found some research on sleep that's really important. So I want to make sure I get that information to you. I've done a video about it before, but constantly learning, and there's some more things that makes me understand why certain things with my own body are happening, and I want to make sure you get that information. So, all right. Tony Perez, man, you're getting deep with this thrombosis affect blood flow to the penis. Whoo. You guys always have some good questions. Okay, let me get to that. All right. So let's talk about things that happens that makes atherosclerosis more likely. And for people who do not know, with atherosclerosis, I love saying that word. No, I don't. What it does is doctor talk for hardening of plaque inside of your veins, your arteries, just building up. And so if you have ED, more than likely you have that. And so the first thing to understand is that, a lot of times people are saying, it's inherited. Well, you may be predisposed. Remember that 25% of your body is genetic. The other 75% is what you eat. So what you eat, 75% of what you are is what you eat. So, you need to have that understanding. A lot of times when people say they have a genetic issue, it's actually a cultural hereditary issue. As in, well, your parents, your aunts, uncles, everybody else, this is the way they ate, very heavy meat based, very, not great food. And you're eating that same not great food growing up, and then you continue doing it as you go throughout the rest of your life. There's some people who like chitlins there's no reason you should be eating chitlins. Anyone should ever started it, but for some people, that's the way that their family rolled. Shout out to my mom, who will every once in a while still do that. That has never passed my lips. Yeah. What's going on, Prince Diamond? I hear you. All right, Sir Don Raphael. All right, got you on that question right there. So, okay, the 6 things we're talking about: high cholesterol levels. We're also talking about high blood pressure. So obviously, if you have high blood pressure, the blood is your heart is working harder. The blood is not flowing the way it should be. Diabetes. I talk about this. I actually did a poll. Put this out there. The question was, do you know that diabetes is caused by meat eating, and that if you reduce the meat eating out of your diet, then you can cure yourself of diabetes? And we had a good 112 guys answered. 25% said yes, they knew about it. 75% said no. And why didn't the doctor tell me? So there's some things that you need to know. Obviously, obesity is not going to help in this factor, especially if you have visceral fat. That's fat around your stomach. So those guys that have that, that pregnant look, that's not a good sign. That means the fat is sitting there right next to your organs. And remember, what fat does is actually holding on to the poisons that are in your body. That's what fat is. So when they say, you're losing fat, the fat cells actually just shrink down. The poison that's in there leaves out of your body through your breath. 85% of your weight loss is through your breath. So that's the way that works. And of course, smoking is just horrible for you. I know for those guys who do that once in a while smoking, that tweed, for those guys who do that, then it's still going to harden your, it's going to slow down the blood flow. It's going to make the blood stickier. And so it's also going to harden your artery walls. And so that's going to make it more difficult for the blood to go through. And so when we're talking about that high blood pressure, you really need to take care of that high blood pressure to get rid of that ED. It's really important. And also another important thing is not to just count on medicines to do that. There are obviously other ways, such as improving your diet. If you're, stuck on these different pills, these pills will actually make it more difficult for you to get an erection. Your body is not designed to be taking these particular pills in, especially over a long period of time, those statins and all this other kind of stuff. So it's really lifestyle change. Everything I talk about just comes down to lifestyle change. What's going on, Theodore? Ooh, he got the beet, ginger, and turmeric juice today. Oh, yes, indeed. That is powerful, guys. Go ahead and get on that. And so just remember those blood pressure medicines can cause that ED. You want to avoid all of that stuff. And let's go ahead and talk about 8 ways to get that good blood flow. Just remember, first of all, you have 60,000 miles of veins and arteries inside of your body. 60,000 miles. So you need to be taking care of this at all time. When your circulation is poor, your body can't get the oxygen. It can't get the nutrients that it needs. And so it's just going to slowly over time start breaking down. And when we're talking about poor circulation, that means your hands and your feet are going to feel cooler. And this is different from, when you take African fly. For those guys who don't know, African fly is an all natural liquid aphrodisiac made from 8 different herbs that help improve your erections, your whole sexual capabilities. But because it is bringing blood flow to your genital regions, your hands and feet feel cooler. If your hands and feet feel cooler without that going on, then you're just having circulation issues. And as I mentioned with that nicotine in the cigarettes harms the walls of your arteries and thickens your blood. So, of course, get rid of that. You want to check your blood flow at least once a month. It should be 120/80. But, of course, go ahead, check with your doctor. It depends upon your age, upon your health condition at that time. But you want to have your blood pressure in a good range. And what is blood? Blood is all about that water. And so what you need to do is just go ahead and get more water into your body. And with all that extra water, I had to go do a blood test today. And I went in there and the lady was like, searching for the vein and everything. It was like, what's going on? Well, and she was like, did you drink today? And normally I drink a lot of water. But just for whatever reason for that morning, I just didn't have a lot of water. I did drink tea and herbal tea, but she was like, that can sort of dry you out. Not dry you out, but you need the water to actually plump up your veins. So go ahead and get that water as necessary, especially if you're doing a lot of exercising and especially if you're in heat. And so that's what I was doing that morning. I just didn't replenish myself with the fluids. And also sitting down is sort of dangerous. All right, good question, John. Sitting down for a long period of time, basically you're cutting off the lower half of your body. You know, you're instead of being like this, you're sitting down for a long period of time. That is cutting off blood flow. And really, when you're standing up, blood is not only going down to your feet, it's coming back up to your heart. So there's a whole process that works when you're standing up. When you sit down for long periods of time, it cuts that process off. Rocky, what kind of question is that, man? That's not going to show up in the thread, but that's funny. I'm going to talk about that. Yeah. So you want to check out standing desk and things like that, or if you don't have that option, just remember to go ahead and time yourself. If you need to stand up every half an hour or so, every 15 minutes, make sure you're doing that. And I'm now saying this a lot. Yoga, guys. Yoga is a low impact exercise that can jumpstart your blood flow. So and a lot of times we talk about high impact, high intensity interval training, which is like 30 seconds on of intense exercise and 15 seconds off, to give your body enough time to rest. So the next 30 seconds could be as high intensity as possible. There's also low intensity exercises. Walk is one of them. Walking is one of them. And actually, when you're walking, your body is designed to walk. So when you're walking, you're actually burning fat instead of burning carbs. So, for those guys, you see, you go to the gym, you'll see like these big bodybuilders, people who just, they look like they know what they're doing, and they'll hop on that treadmill and just walk. So it's like, okay, this guy was over there bench pressing like 300, 400 pounds, and now he's just walking. Why isn't he jogging? Why isn't he doing something like that? Well, he's trying to burn fat. So that's the reason why they get that that walking in. Good question, Anthony. Rocky, you are funny, man. Love it. And another good couple of things that you can do is to, in that yoga pose, there's a yoga pose where basically just go up to a wall, lay down on your back and stick your feet up against the wall. And, hit yourself an L on that wall, and you're getting blood flow going back down to your pelvic regions. That's just good. It's just a move, but if you're sitting down a lot, this can help you out a lot. And of course, you need to do, get your cardio in. I talk about cardio in terms of like overdoing the cardio. That's when you could cause stress damage to your body. But there's nothing wrong with going for the run, for the walk, biking, swimming, all those things. But here's the trick, guys. A lot of people keep telling us you only need to do this for a good 30 seconds. I'm not saying 30 seconds. You only need to do it like 30 minutes a day. That's the low end. They're giving you like, oh, you're too busy working to actually take care of your body. So right after you retire, you can die. We ain't got to pay you no pension and your Social Security, nothing like that. Look, guys, you need to be moving every day. Your body's designed to move every day. It was not. Just think about it. This whole thing of sitting down and working, the vast majority of humans could not do that just 60 years ago. If you had an office job, you pushing papers, but you still had to walk a lot more, all those different things. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. All right. Yep. And of course, as we always talk about, you want to eat those plants. You want to get more plants into your diet and less meat. This will help keep your cholesterol in a healthy range. It will keep your blood pressure in check, and it will keep your arteries clear. It's just that simple. So, yep. So, guys, let me know. And have you heard of some of this information before? Are you dealing with erectile dysfunction? We just want to go ahead and put that in the comment section so we can just share this information. I think it's really important for everybody to realize that we're in the matrix. We haven't been taught the right things to do, and so a lot of times people are thinking that, oh, something's wrong with me. That I can't function correctly. I have to work harder and everything. No, they've just been giving you the wrong information. They've been saying, come on in, we'll give you a diagnosis, and we'll damn near force a pill on you. I went to a doctor, and it was like, I was telling her, it's like, yeah, I'm eating way less meat, cutting it all out and everything like that. And she was like, where are you going to get your iron from? I was like, where did the animal get their iron from? From the plants. Yeah. Animal ain't born with iron. What's wrong with you? But that's what they do. they're looking for a way to give you pills, so you have to be very careful with that. So, okay. Hold on a second. Let me get myself straight here. I want to go ahead and get to you guys' questions. We always get some great questions because you guys are smart. I love it. I love it. Love doctor. Love doctor in the house. All right. Okay. Great questions. Great questions. All right. Let me get to it. Tony J, I'm not big on fruit, just basic fruit, but I like vegetables. What would be enough? There isn't like enough. There isn't, it's what you're supposed to eat. So I've never heard of anyone ever ODing on vegetables. You're just going to get healthier. That's all there is to it. They're just basic things that are different, obviously, between fruits and vegetables. With the fruit, you're going to get more sugars, good sugars, because it has the fiber that's working with the sugars, so that it's being absorbed into your body properly. Your body optimally runs off of plant fiber, and so that makes a huge difference. And also, you have way more water content in the fruit. And like I mentioned before, your blood is 50% water, so getting that the nutrients with the fruit and the good carbs, the good plants with the fruit is a good thing. So there we go. Tony Perez. All right. So he has a great question that unfortunately I can't answer. Does deep vein thrombosis affect the blood flow to the penis? I had surgery, 26 veins doctor took off. Wow. Yeah. If it's anything that's messing with your veins, it's going to mess with your blood flow to your penis. I don't want to go any deeper than that because I'm not familiar with that. Do not know everything, but that's a great question. That's something that we'll make sure to take a look at because we love getting more information. Mr. Molin, Johann Alexander Molin. Yo, you sound like a doctor or orchestrator, something. It's that important, man. What about garlic and vitamin C? Garlic is great. It helps cleanses your blood. Of course, vitamin C is well known. If this is the reason why you have to be sort of careful and pay attention. We have the internet now. You can go ahead and do more research. Vitamin C has been known for a long time just be great with colds. And come to find out, it was just a doctor who came up with it, said it once, and everybody, he just happened to be in the right spot back in the 1950s and 1960s, and everybody just said, yes, it's just vitamin C. You just need to eat oranges as soon as you get sick. It's like, there isn't one thing. There isn't like one, I just need to get testosterone and by itself and that'll work. It's like, no, your body is made up of trillions, multi-trillions of cells, 60,000 miles of veins. I mean, a whole bunch is going on inside of your body. So it is never just one vitamin. So, it's good to get the vitamin C. Also get vitamin B, B12, D, E, F, G, H, all of them, zinc, all of it. So, and for the most part, your body can make a lot of it out of the foods that you eat. Actually, that's what happens. Okay. Anthony, what can truck drivers do? That's a difficult one. My brother was a truck driver, and I could just look at him and tell his body was changing because of the schedule that you guys run on. And especially sometimes it's difficult to get proper sleep. But it's the two things I would say, the main things you need to pay attention to is getting that proper sleep. And whenever you can, if you get to a truck stop, typically you guys like to chill out, go talk to somebody. Some people like to smoke, whatever is going on, walk. Just get that walk in, because if you're not getting that blood flow going through your body, you're going to start running into problems. And it doesn't take long. Especially the older you get, it doesn't take long. And it's really important to get to the sleep. I'm going to talk about the sleep as soon as I get through some of these questions, but sleep is very important, especially the older you get, because as you get older, the amount of deep sleep that you can get actually starts reducing. So that's the reason why you see some people who are older who sleep all the time, but it's not like all of a sudden they're getting more rejuvenated. It's because it takes that much more sleep to just get deep into that deep state of sleep. So really important, really important. Okay. Hey, Nikki, can you scroll up for me just a little bit? Let's see. All right, Corey, is it okay to take zinc? Yeah. Yeah, it is okay to take zinc. In fact, I did do a video not too long ago that talked about zinc. Uh, I scrolled the other way. Sorry, that talked about zinc, and you want to. You definitely want to get it into your body. It's very important. It's it's better just to go and get zinc from foods. We're talking about not cauliflower, broccoli. There are many natural foods that you can get zinc from. If you're in a position where you need to get up better on your zinc, and you want to take some pills, you need about a good 12 milligrams per day. So you have to look at the type of pills that you get. And we'll be doing some recommendations on the type of zinc that you get. We're just doing our research to make sure we get the right recommendation for you so that you can get the zinc pills. But yeah, it's very important in terms of your erections, hair growth, production of sperm. Yeah. Yeah. If you're trying to look like one of them porn stars, yeah, look at what I did on skeet, 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 skeet. Yeah. That's what you need that zinc for. Okay. All right. Is fish good? Baked salmon, grilled salmon? Ooh. And what about seasonings like salt and pepper? Okay. Is fish good? That when people say fish, please recognize you're talking about the whole freaking ocean. So there are thousands of types of fish. We just all lump it together into fish. And so certain fish, just like if you're eating different animals, whatever animals, obviously it's a difference between a rabbit and a buffalo. So that's the range that we're talking about when you're talking about fish. Also remember that the world has changed. The fish that we're getting, one, it could be farmed. Do not get the farmed fish. Well, let me say this first off. Do not eat fish at all. I know that's going to hurt some people, but it's still an animal. It's still alive. We're not designed to eat death. We can eat death. I'm proof of it. I was eating 200 animals a month, and included in that was fish. And at one point, including that was salmon. I was eating copious amounts of salmon, and then my body was like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be eating that. In fact, we're going to give you the message by messing with your knee." The last time I had salmon, my knee just blew up. I knew that, and I wanted to test it again. I was like, "I'm sure, you sure salmon?" And so I went back, like a good 9 months after that episode, and did it again after eating bad, a whole bunch of other meat. Yeah, I almost had to go to the hospital for my knee. I thought I needed surgery. So to answer your question, fish is not good. Is fish. And so you want to be very careful with that. Go ahead and cut it out if you can. Seasonings like salt and pepper, that's fine. You don't want to overdo it with the salt, particularly because there's so much salt in everything. You go into 7-Eleven, it's a salt and sugar factory. Correction, it's a salt, sugar, and corn factory. That's all they have in there. Most of the sugar is in the form of fructose, corn fructose. They'll now switch things up and say, "Oh yeah, it's dextrose." They're called sugar, a whole bunch of extra names just to trick you. So yeah, if you're going to use salt and pepper, just be aware of where you are. Be aware of where your blood pressure is. Okay. The pepper, some people say it irritates your stomach. Just on you. If you notice that it irritates your stomach, then don't use it. Okay. All right, love doctor. Is it better to boil the beet to make the juice or juice raw? Whenever I've done it, I juiced it raw. It was very messy. So I actually just get it from the store. We have a Whole Foods around here. The Safeway that's near me, another grocery store. It doesn't have it. They have the other things. They just don't have the beet juice. People just don't typically eat beet juice. So, but yeah, I prefer the beet juice in the jar, so I can just drink it. If you're juicing it, as long as you can do it consistently, that's great. You don't need to drink a lot of it. But if you were drinking a lot of it, I wouldn't be mad at you about that either. So, and of course, they do have the kind that comes in a powdered form for those guys who are on the go. All right. All of them are better, let's say, than not getting beet juice. Beet juice, for those guys who do not know, increases your performance athletically about a good 20%. So, yeah, I use beet juice. In the mornings, I got beet juice, sea moss, and I add African fly into my beet juice. That is a powerful combination. I'm going on 50. Well, Yeah, as in June 3rd, I'll be 50. And when I go into the gym, I can take the pen and put it on the bottom rack of whatever. We're talking about pulling down, pushing, all this other kind of stuff. Your boy strong, your uncle strong. And I attribute that to a lot of the workouts that I've been doing, and definitely to just paying attention to stuff I say and actually doing it. So yeah, 2 years ago, I wasn't like that. Was not like that. Okay. Which vegetables provide the most blood flow in the body? It's really, let me just say it like this. It's not a question of a particular vegetable. I mean, all vegetables have a different quality to them, things that can help you. But when it comes down to it, you're a human. There are 250,000 edible plants on this planet. You can have good blood flow eating just apples or carrots, or the things that are available to us here in the United States. You go over to India, you go to Africa, you go to wherever the other 250,000 plants are on this planet. The people who are eating it have better blood flow than the people who are not eating it. It's really that simple. So I would say, broccoli is great. It has a lot of nutrients. If you want to go with kale, it's the most nutrient dense, but it's the nutrients. It's the plant fiber more than anything. Your body optimally runs off of plant fiber. So you want to get as much of that into your body as possible. So the only vegetables I would say that's not the best worth eating is iceberg lettuce. It's just not very nutrient dense. But if there was nothing left, I'd go ahead and eat that. Mm-hmm. I hope that answered your question there, Dominic. Mr. Spangler. All right. Is black seed oil good for diabetes? It's not necessary. It has nutrients, but if you have, once again, diabetes is caused by eating meat. So you cut out the meat, then you're gonna get rid of diabetes. Adding black seed oil is helpful, nutrient wise, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's not going to get rid of the diabetes. The only thing that's going to get rid of that is cutting meat out of your diet. And also, if you want to hop online, check out Dr. Jason Fung. He's done a lot of great work in terms of fasting for diabetes. So he has people who had diabetes for years, 20, 30 years, however long, and went on a 30-day fast and no longer had diabetes. Yeah. Most people don't know that. That's sort of scary. So, yep. All right. Crypto, what's going on there? Are there any herbs that clean the arteries? I wouldn't say specifically clean the arteries. It's not really a question of cleaning the arteries. It's a question of stopping what's causing the arteries to get clogged. So your body is going to clean out stuff regardless. So let's say if you went on to a fast, the reason why, let's tie it back into the diabetes. Diabetes is basically the same thing when we're talking about your arteries. So when you're eating animal fats, it starts collecting on the sides. It tears away the endothelia. Endothelia is the inside lining of your arteries, and it actually lets out nitric oxide. You probably heard that if you go to the gym, and the nitric oxide pushes your blood through. As you continue to eat animal fats and things like that, it starts tearing away at the endothelia, and it'll start clumping up where the tear is. So with less endothelia, you get less blood movement going through. And if the animal fat starts building up too much, you get a rupture. All types of bad things start happening at that point. So it's really not a question of cleaning the arteries. It's a question of not allowing stuff to get stuck to the arteries. Once again, if you are fasting, what'll happen is, when you're going through a fast, your body, people always have a different, your metabolism, you're going to lose muscle and all this other kind of stuff. That's not the way this works. Your body is designed to fast. That's the reason why you go to sleep. We're not designed to eat as much as, the Snicker commercial said. You got to eat. No, they don't. You can take breaks from eating, and what happens is your body isn't going to go through and start tearing away at your muscle. That doesn't make any sense. Your body wants to continue to live. So what it's going to do is start going through your body and doing autophagy. Basically, it's going to start getting rid of dead cells. It's going to get rid of stuff that shouldn't be in your body. That's the reason why when people go on a fast, they lose weight. What is the weight? The weight is poison from the foods that you were eating that are now inside of the fat cells. When you stop eating, it stops feeding into the fat cells. That's now looking for energy. It goes to the fat cells. It goes to the dead things that are in your body. The reason why people talk about fasting, everyone from Gandhi to Jesus to most of the big brain thinkers fasted, is because not only does it help with your physical body, but also inside of your brain, it will start breaking down the plaque that's there. It's going to get rid of the poisons first, because that makes sense. Some people just think, I told my mother I was fasting one time. She was like, "Oh, well, if you're fasting, then you could, your brain would go out and you just pass out and drive into a wall." I was like, "Where'd you get this stuff from?" But that's what people believe. And so, there's a market out there. There's a industry that's makes money when you eat too much. So yeah, go ahead and fast, and it's gonna that will clean out your arteries. That will get rid of your diabetes. Larry Hernandez, what's going on, Mr. Hernandez? Is walking every day for 30 minutes good for sex life? Yes. Yes, it's going to get rid of that, especially if you're walking out in nature. It does a lot of, I don't know, we call it Zen or whatever, but it actually has a calming effect on your body. And like I mentioned before, it's a low intensity interval exercise. So, not interval, but it's a low intensity exercise. So, if you can go 30, if you can go 45 minutes, what it's going to do is going to start taking excess fat off of you. That's helpful. When we say excess fat, what that means is that poison is leaving your body. If your poison is leaving your body, what is your body designed to do? Fuck. That's what you're designed to do. So once you get rid of that excess fat on your body, then yeah, you're now free to walk around and get it in. Get it in. So okay. All right. Great question, guys. Great. Love it. Is ashwagandha good for ED? Yes, Mr. K. Yes, Mark K. It is good for ED. It helps. I'm sorry. I'm in preacher mode right now. It helps. It helps. It helps. Yeah, it helps with a lot of stuff. So yes, you do want to do that. Okay. The ambassador. Okay. What can you take to increase sperm quantity? Zinc. Zinc. That's why you hear about oysters and things like that. Zinc helps your body to create higher sperm, actually better sperm quality. And just mind you, zinc is in the crust of the earth. That's the reason why you have oysters that are in the crust of the earth underwater. And they, that's why it's known as an aphrodisiac. It actually just helps increase your sperm count. But you don't have to get it from animals. You can get it from plants. And if you can't get enough, if you find out that you have low zinc, then you can actually uh, what the just blaze? What? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I'm sorry. But yeah, you want to as I mentioned before, get the zinc. You need about a good 12 milligrams per day. Do not take zinc pills on an empty stomach because that hurts. I tried that before. I'd rather get it from a plant. All right. What about lemon juice and honey? Is that good for staying up? Not necessarily. I mean, it helps in its own way. You want to be careful with the honey because that is sweet. Sweet things are going to reduce your testosterone by, it depends on what level you are. For a healthier person, if you eat some sweet, it's going to reduce your testosterone levels for a good 30 minutes. The older you are, the longer it's going to take for your testosterone to recover. So, a lot of times people say different things like, oh, take honey instead of sugar, or take brown sugar, which is just sugar and molasses, because that's healthier or something. No, it's still sweet. Your body's going to react to it the exact same way. It's better than honey has more nutrients than sugar, especially the processed sugar. Yeah, cane sugar, which is processed sugar. It has more nutrients than that. In fact, a lot of times you don't see sugar listed on food labels, and that's because it doesn't have any nutritional qualities at all. It's just a sweetener. Okay. All right. What exercises can help with better blood flow to the penis? Good question, Mr. Hunter, Brian Hunter. Good name, Mr. Brian. What exercise can help with better blood flow to the penis? Um, Exercise, period. Your body is not detached from your penis. So if you're exercising, it's going to go through. You want to get cardio just so it can get the entire movement throughout your entire body. Weightlifting is great in terms of, especially lifting heavy. It's going to increase your testosterone levels. And once again, the bursting and burning of testosterone is what fuels an erection. So you want to get that testosterone inside of your body so the blood flow will be there for that good erection. So yeah. Any type of exercise is going to help as long as you're doing it in, properly. Let's say properly. You know how how this works. So yeah. Uh-huh. Uh Best way to beat ED through psychology? If you have stress, that's typically the what's messing with your brain in terms of, and that can have a big effect. Typically, I say that for men, 80% of our sexual performance is physical, the other 20% is mental. Well, when that 20% is mental, that 20% is strong. And so you want to be very careful on a couple of things. First of all, just start taking care of yourself. I say this to guys all: your life is dependent upon getting rid of stress. This is the way it works for men. You'll notice that for men, as we get older, we deal with stress a lot worse. If you're in a stressful relationship, you like, I give up, no mas, take the money, I'm going, whatever. I just got to get away from. That's because of that level of stress. So you want to make sure that you give as much uh, do as many things as possible. What I do is meditation every morning. And when I say meditation, it isn't something weird. You can just close your eyes, feel your own body, just listen and just breathe deeply. There are apps out there that help you with meditation. They'll give you guided meditation. This is something you have to actively do. It isn't like something like, oh, I'm just going to, not do anything and think that this is going to go away. You have to relax your brain, because basically what happens during the day, you're hitting stress. If you looked at your brain waves, it's doing something like crazy like this all day long. And then you're carrying it over into your sleep. You're not getting good quality sleep because your brain is still doing this all day long, all night long. And so you want to give your brain a rest. You give your brain a rest, your entire body will start relaxing. If you're stressed all the time, you're increasing cortisol. Cortisol is going to be lowering your testosterone. You're now on a downward cycle. So stress will just cause inflammation, cause all types of problems. So you want to be very careful with that. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. Uh Marcus Gant, Uncle B, when you're intermittent fasting, you said it's okay to drink water. Yeah. Is it okay to still take your vitamins and herbs and African fly? Okay. There are several different types of fasting. Um, and if there's water fasting, there's juice fasting, there's fasting, the I want to say this correctly. In the Muslim tradition, from sun up to sundown, you don't eat anything at all. Some people don't drink anything at all. So there are different ones you want to do. So the question is, what is your goal? If your goal is to just do a full, you just want to go hard, you have to be very careful. If you're doing a straight just water fast, you have to be careful. Some people even do dry fast. They don't even drink the water. That's when you start going to the danger zone. You want to be very careful with when you're doing fasting, because if you're not prepared for it, if you don't set yourself up properly, you're going to run into issues. So saying all that, I would say the best type is to actually have, I drink teas when I'm fasting. African fly is a liquid tea. A liquid tea concentrate. So are other tinctures. If you're getting tinctures for ashwagandha or maca, or I have my tincture collection over there. You can add that into your diet, because one of the into your fasting, because one thing about fasting is that you want to get rid of just solids in your body. If the solids are what's taking up a lot of the processing, you have your gut with trillions of bacteria that are down there to turn the food into you. You need to give your gut bacteria a break. So just drinking teas and things like that, you're going to be fine. If you want to do that without turning on your sugar, then drink teas that don't have apple, not apple, but yeah, any fruits in it. That way, you're avoiding turning on, having glucose being turned on. So it's a lot of different ways to do this, but the question really comes down to how can you be consistent with it. If you're doing something that a dry fast is so difficult, a water fast by itself is difficult. Some people it's not difficult. It really depends on you, your mindset, and everything like that. But yeah, it to me it's preferable to have the other herbs in there that is going to help your body. So really up to you. Really up to you. Okay. All right. Okay. Woo, guys, I love this. You guys got some great questions. Great questions. All right, hold on. Let me check something here. Oh, oh, hold on. I see something here. What do I see here? I see this. I see this right here. Thank you, Mr. Larry Hernandez. I appreciate that. That super chat right there. Yeah, guys, if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit me up with the super chat. I appreciate anything you want to give. That helps. Also, let me go ahead and say this right now. I want to thank my staff, the people that are working with me behind the scenes, getting all this stuff set up, making sure we get the information into the, helping me with the chat room and all that good stuff. So wonderful. Uh, all right, great questions. Okay, let me just do this right quick. I just want to just want to get this one in here. Does sleeping nude help in ED? Depends on who you're sleeping with. Well, a couple of things. If you're sleeping nude, actually, you want your body to be cool. You want your room to be cool to mimic um, the evening. So if your room temperature is like 69, that's great. If you're sleeping nude and that helps you, then yeah, definitely go for it. In slight ways, it can help with that calories. Well, not calories. It can help your body process the increasing the amount of fat that it burns. Because guys, one thing about sleeping is that, think about it. You go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you lose some weight. Measure yourself. And what actually happens, the better quality sleep that you have, the way that you lose weight is through your breath, and that requires your lungs to be working well, and it's called fat oxidation. And so while you're asleep, your body is still, your brain is what's using up, and then your brain works off of fat. So your brain will start burning through fat. The higher quality sleep you get, the more your brain will work, not only with burning fat while you're asleep, but also set you up with higher levels of leptin and lower levels of ghrelin, which controls your appetite, increases human growth hormones, so you actually have more energy throughout the day, gives you more energy so you can spend more energy throughout the day. So your sleep sets you up for some great things. We actually did a video on sleep, and please check that out. Nikki, if you can put that link in there for the guys. But yeah, it's really important to get that going. Okay, great question there. Okay. Um, what food and exercises help maximize blood flow? What food? Plant-based food. Not even the vegan food. I'm talking about the actual plants. A raw plant fiber is best for your body, and just about every exercise can help you move blood flow through your entire body. The more intense the exercise is, the more blood flow is moving. But it doesn't have to be like that. And also, once again, if you're increasing your testosterone through lifting heavy, that's going to help your body out in general. Mr. Lopez, do you have a Cash App? Do I have a Cash App? What is my Cash App? I never Cash App myself, so I will make sure to get that Cash App in there for you guys. Hey, I appreciate that, though. I really do appreciate that. Let me figure out where my Cash App is. I don't even know. That's sort of sad. It's $Bayers, Bayers 12. Yeah, yeah. Let me go ahead and put that in there. Really appreciate that. If you guys would like to cash at me, uh, that would help us out a lot. Just put that in there. Uh, Appreciate that, Mr. Lopez. Really do. What do you recommend for men who, as they age, have enlarged prostate or prostatitis? Okay. Um, you really have to focus in on your diet. Well, actually, everything. Everything. Whenever there's something wrong with your body, there are 5 major areas that I talk about. That is, we call it the ECS system. It is exercise, sleep. I'm sorry, energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and your soul. So when we talk about energy, we talk about those plant fibers, eating all the good vegetables and fruits that you can. Sleep, making sure you get high quality sleep, minimum 8 hours. Especially if you're trying to heal yourself. Sleeping actually makes you younger if you're getting that good quality sleep. Of course, exercise. You need to be up on your exercise. Intermittent fasting. The reason why you want to give your body a break. Your body heals while you are not eating. That's the reason why it heals while you're asleep, because you're not eating. And so once again, you want to get rid of that stress. All of those things play a factor in just about every. You're human. This goes back. It doesn't matter if you had this prostate issues in the year of our Lord 01. The same thing applies to all humans. So for Mr. Corona, what can happen if the prostate has been removed? What can help? Everything I just said. It's your body. Your body needs to do all 5 of these things. A lot of times, people try to do is look for what is the one thing I can take. What's the one thing I can do? There is no one thing for a system as complex as your body. You have 60,000 miles of veins. You have trillions of bacteria in your gut. You have all of your organs regenerate. A lot of times people say, "Oh, you got the same skin." No, your body regenerates your skin, your liver, your brain, your eyes. All at a cellular level, everything changes. So you have to take care of all 5 areas. Okay. Dylan Byrne. Hi, Uncle B. What's the best way to eat eggs? Leave them. There you go. Don't eat eggs. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you get this and that out of eggs." We're not. Well, 2 things. One, we're not designed to eat as many eggs as we get. I mean, think about this. For a lot of guys like myself, I didn't see a chicken until I was 45. I've been eating chicken all my life. I worked at McDonald's. I was slanging them eggs. I was slanging them chickens. I've been in the process of giving people chickens for a whole 2 years of my high school career. And yeah, it's not healthy, especially at the level that we consume it right now. There's never been a time in human history where any human's been able to eat as many chickens as I've eaten. What have you eaten? So no, it's nothing. I mean, if I'm about to die, oh, I'm going to tear some eggs up. But outside of that, no, no, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's not good. Is saw palmetto good for prostate? I think I need to do a prostate show. Saw palmetto good for prostate, or is that a lie? I mean, it is, but once again, it's not just one thing. So you don't want to get stuck on it. Let me just take this one thing, and then I'm gonna take the saw palmetto and still get my 10 minutes of sleep. Obviously, that's not going to work. Or take my saw palmetto and stay in a stressed out situation. So yeah, you want to be careful with that. And so we do have so both pumpkin seed oil and a combination of pumpkin seed oil and saw palmetto oil can improve your prostate situation. But yeah, those things are safe and effective. Pumpkin seed oil, saw palmetto oil, safe and effective alternatives for BPH. For those guys who don't know, actually suffer from BPH. BPH basically is like you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and only tick comes out. And so now you're awake, your sleep is disrupted, you're on that downward spiral. So you want to be very careful with BPH. But in terms of saw palmetto, once again, it's not just that. Go ahead and take it. I don't have a problem with that, but realize it's not just that. Uh, Mr. Lopez, what is the best fasting method? The best fasting method really depends on what your goals are. So, and once again, it's like, it's to use fasting to get healthier. That's the whole goal. So, a lot of times people want to take things a little bit too far when it comes to their fasting. Hold on, I just saw something here. I want to make sure I got everything covered here. So, you know, as long as you're not taking things too far, that's the important thing. In terms of like what's the best, the best one is the one that's not going to get you messed up. So I don't endorse dry fasting, which is where you don't consume anything, including water. That one you need to do under medical supervision. If you're doing water fasting, you have to be very careful. If you get to the point where you start feeling lightheaded, things aren't good, stop. Go ahead and eat something. And it's not like, a contest. It's you're trying to heal yourself, not like, oh, I got to go for 51 days in order for this to work for me. I feel like I'm about to faint. That's not a good idea. So the best one is the one that's better for you. So for me, what I like to do is I'll do a fast while drinking, teas and tinctures and things like that, because I'm like, hey, while my body is going through the process of getting rid of all these different illnesses, as I'm breathing it out, well, whatever I'm consuming, I want it to be the best for my body possible, that it can help with the process, as long as I'm not adding something solid into my body that's going to throw it off. And just a couple of quick things about fasting. Before you go on a fast, make sure you're eating healthy before you go on a fast. I tell this story of a news person who was a producer. They were talking about doing fasting, and as part of the show, it's like, oh, we're gonna have a producer do a fast, and the last thing she consumed was a diet Dr. Pepper. Your body was not made for a diet Dr. Pepper. So this woman was in pain because your body's going to go back to what you just ate, because that's the most readily available food source. After that, it has to go through, some glucose. Then it will start going to your fat stores. So, you have to go through that process, that transition. And so you want that transition to be as smooth as possible. So if you're eating, you got your plant fiber there. Some people like, oh, I'm going to eat bad before I go on my fast. I'm going to eat some pizza. I'm going to get that beer. I'm going to get a hot dog. And your body's going back to the last thing. Typically, you don't feel pain from eating those things, junk food, because you're going to cover it back up with something else. So you're just like, oh, well, I'm eating hot dogs, well, and then with fries, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to eat some eggs, and then in the evening I'm going to, you're just covering up, and your body doesn't give you a response saying, hey, this is actually bad for you. Now, when you're coming out of a fast, what you do want to do is consume food at a different rate. You want to go back in one food at a time, typically something that's healthy for you. Then as you're like, okay, coming out of my fast, I'm going to go with a salad. I'm going to go with some fruit, a fruit salad, something like that. And then you want to ease back into something else. So if there's something that, I want to test and see what would happen if I do this. I actually did a fast one time, and I ended it. I was out at a party, it was a whole bunch of things going on. I was like, oh man, I'm hungry now. And I went to the local Chinese place and got some of the greasy shrimp fried rice. Woo, that was good and horrible. It was just like, oh, this is good. Yeah, that's what happened. So you want to be careful coming out of your fast. All right. Guys, we got a whole bunch of great questions. We're coming up on the 10 o'clock hour. The 10 o'clock hour. All right. Great questions. Hey, I see you there, Pharaoh Ghost, Michael Johnson, Tyrone Brooks. All right. We are going to have to go and do what does seaweed do? What does seaweed do? CMOS. So CMOS has 105 essential nutrients and vitamins. So once you get into your system, you have an unfair advantage in the gym and in the bedroom. So I had my CMOS over there, had it earlier today. We actually have partnered with a company that has some great CMOS. They get it from the seas of St. Lucia. So there we go. That's what's going on, man? What's going on over here? Yeah. Great question there. Okay. So guys, I'm trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Let me see if I don't have any things to see. Mr. Lopez, does a shrimp and spinach diet help? I'll be careful with the shrimp. It's an animal. Uh, it'll cause some problems in your body, especially over the long haul. If you're trying to get rid of something, any type of disease, you need to get rid of all animals. Just being real. Mr. Byrne, Dylan Byrne, are there any discount codes running for African Fly? You can use AF10. That's African Fly 10, AF10, and use that. It'll take 10% off your entire order. Yes, go ahead and check that out. Appreciate that. All right. How much sex is good to have in a week for a guy in his 40s? How much time is there in a week? Do that. I mean, as long as it's healthy, as long as you guys aren't stressed out, it's like we got to do it 20 more times before I'm healthy. Don't kill anybody. But yeah. Do you recommend food-based multivitamins? Multivitamins are questionable because it's like where these vitamins are coming from. Because I mean, truthfully, a multivitamin is a fruit, is vegetables, is multiple vitamins in there, CMOS, multiple vitamins in there. So you want to do that. All right. I'm looking for some questions that I have not hit before. Yep. Is olive oil okay? You have to be careful with olive oil. Olive oil, from the standpoint of how it's made, you want to get the better quality olive oil. Sometimes they have put things into the olive oil that is questionable. I actually use avocado oil right now. That's pretty good. It's pretty healthy. So yeah. Okay. Pharaoh's Ghost, I can admit, went plant-based 2 months ago. Erections are like a 19-year-old. Only issue is it takes too long for the end result, if you know what I mean. Hey, you're going to last like a 19-year-old. Hey, there, man, what kind of problems you want there, player? I was about to say something wrong about you need to find a 19-year-old. That's not that. I'm kidding. What causes a delay in ejaculation? I don't know. If we were having a conversation, I'd be questioning such things as have you been looking at porn for a long time? Because that can affect you mentally. If you have been looking at a lot of porn, take a porn break and allow your body to get used to being with another human being. I mean, allow your mind to get used to being with another human being. You may be in the throes of making love and thinking about that scene with the dolphins and that woman and whatever they were doing. So, okay. All right. It looks like we are running short on time, and my screen is actually messing up here. Hold on a second. I'm not sure what just happened here, but if you guys can still hear me, yay, we're gonna be doing this again next week. So sorry about my screen. Not sure what is going on. Am I back? Okay. Yeah, apparently I can be heard, but I cannot be seen. So we're gonna end this off. Hey, Just Blaze, I would love to answer that question. Do you use Tanget Ali? I don't use it currently, but I do recommend it. So yeah, guys, please come back next week, Thursday. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was about to say come back Thursday next week, but that's my birthday. For those guys that weren't here earlier, June 3rd is my birthday. So that evening I will be doing what a 50-year-old does on a birthday evening. I'm not sure what that is yet, but I will be figuring it out. That's for damn shows. So, but we do have another show coming on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be talking about what it's like to turn 50 and how to get just life lessons. So, hopefully you guys can put it to action and, speed up the process of being great. All right. Thanks, Dylan Byrne. Yeah, African Fly is great. I love it. I love it. So, hey guys, peace, love, and soul. We'll make sure the camera is working as we end the broadcast. But we will see you next time. Enjoy yourself.